Hannah Wilke, like so many female artists that were in their work. And I knew I wasn't being represented by the women I was shooting and advertising. And I knew that I needed to understand what it was like to be vulnerable in front of the camera. You know, I think I started as someone who believed in pictures, particularly pictures of women. When I was 13, 14, I would look at fashion pictures and I would tear them out, put them on my wall, and build a kind of female utopia where women were powerful, not married, wore cool clothes, and seemed free. And I think that I didn't make this connection between being able to make those pictures. I just wanted to meet those people. And so I think that way of being drawn to photography as a kind of social activity / promiscuity was what enabled me to cross from journalism to actually having a camera and realizing that it was a way of kind of planting a flag in a place. Honest truth, I just thought there's something funny here. Like the photographs were almost like a TV show to me, and then the south of Germany was the real place, and it felt different. It was softer, and it was lusher, and it was younger, and in some way, to me, it was queer. There was this underground queerness that I saw in the way that young German boys presented themselves in the 90s. Which was like a lot of hair gel and like a lot of consciousness about their clothes and their physique. And so I started with those boys. I started collecting those boys whenever I went to the pool or at a bus stop. And slowly I had this idea that I was documenting Germany post-war. And what I was documenting was a history that was buried under the soil, you know, blood and soil, forests and fields. And so I saw ghosts everywhere, and I think I wanted to catch that because I wanted to connect my history as a Jew, New York Jew, of European descent. I wanted to connect it with its opposite, you know, this ghosts and these villains, and I felt so predetermined as a human being, like that my Jewishness was directly connected to Nazis and the Holocaust, and that I couldn't really be any other kind of Jew until I reckoned with what it felt like to be the other thing. Switching places. I was interested in capturing soldiers and being in charge, humiliating boys, making boys wear lipstick or making boys dress as Nazis, and seeing which boys didn't mind and which boys minded or were confused. And this kind of, you know, theatricality and documentary, like the assumption of truth, proof, and the sort of ridiculousness, the obvious fakeness. And I always think about the Nazi uniforms that I would get. At first I tried to, you know, find them in flea markets or something, but in the south of Germany, I would have had to go to Belgium. Whatever stuff was there, it wasn't there when I was there. And so I rented them from a theater company in Berlin. They would arrive every year in a paper-covered box with tied with string. I'm not exaggerating, it was really like it was coming from the 40s directly. And the costumes they were used year after year for all of the films that were being made in Europe that were talking about World War II. It was like they were extremely popular, and in fact, the year I stopped making those pictures was because they were all out. They literally didn't have a uniform left.